We have a blockbuster trade update to discuss as Giannis Antetokounmpo is reportedly interested in joining the Toronto Raptors. And we know the Raptors have long been interested in bringing in one of the best players in the NBA. And NBA Insiders, as we've discussed in a video today, has revealed the Raptors are big fish hunting. Masai Ujiri is trying to make another home run swing to take this team in a wide open Eastern Conference back to the promised land, back to where Raptors fans want this team to be. So we're going to break down what the latest reports are saying, break down Giannis Antetokounmpo's reported interest in joining the Toronto Raptors, and what we can expect as Raptors fans going forward with all of these latest updates, because there is so much going on. And folks, if you don't want to miss a single thing, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, because there's new news dropping daily, and this Giannis situation is developing and frankly will change the Toronto Raptors franchise forever if it all goes down. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing that's going on with this team. But let's jump straight into it, because frankly these reports have been crazy. Now, already discussed, already brought up, but Brian Windhorst, one of the most connected insiders in the entire NBA, came out and said, I don't want to get too far afield from this, but since this has come up and the Raptors are a team that is starting to make some noise within the league about looking for a big fish. Now, there have been a ton of players linked to the Toronto Raptors after this report came out. Of course, Giannis is on that list. There's a huge list: Sabonis, Levine, DeRozan, Holiday, a lot of names. We broke down some of them in the early vid today, so check that out after this one. But basically, Giannis is the big name that everyone cares about. Now, there's a lot of things that have to happen for a big Giannis trade to go down. Masai Ujiri, we've all been on Giannis watch for years now at this point in terms of getting Giannis Antetokounmpo to Toronto. It's, back Giannis 2021 was the big pursuit back in 2018, 2019 when he was a free agent. I had this graphic done up for years now at this point in terms of the pursuit of landing Giannis Antetokounmpo, and they have resurfaced, recirculated, and today have really gotten real in terms of what we could expect for Giannis to actually join the Toronto Raptors. Now, why is that? Well, Doug Smith has come out with some very, very interesting reports saying, I don't know if it will happen, but I do know there's mutual interest between Antetokounmpo and the Toronto Raptors. The wild card is the cost. Wow. That report is very... That just gets me excited, folks. That just, because we see all the reports, all the Raptors are targeting. The Raptors are this. Giannis might want out of the Bucks, and everyone's putting things together, right? Because we know the Raptors love these home run swings. And you hear a Scoop B report. You hear Scoop B come out. Okay, he wants to go to the Nets, the Raptors, stay in the Eastern Conference, be the guy out there in the city. And we saw how, a guy, I think Kawhi Leonard was deified here at the Toronto Raptors. Giannis, if he stayed long term, brings us a championship, that man will have statues. That man will have, provinces named after him out here, because, how this country just gets behind their star players. We all saw that. And now reports are coming out and directly stating there's mutual interest between Giannis and the Toronto Raptors. Coming in for Doug Smith. So that is very, very juicy. He went on to say this, but I also think the Raptors are uniquely placed to make an attractive offer that won't ruin their franchise or roster. I would make the case that a logjam at the wings makes them deep enough that if they had to pay even two out of Gradey Dick, Ochai Agbaji, Jacoby Walter, RJ Barrett, Jonathan Mobo, would still leave enough to fill a pretty good team with a promising young player still developing. Plus, they have their picks, so Giannis giving a first rounder every year for, say, 4 years leaves enough. So, we know this. We've talked about this. The Raptors can put together a phenomenal package. That isn't in the question. Now, I do want to temper expectation a little bit. Doug Smith did come out and say, again, the odds of doing a Giannis deal are long, but the remnants of paying a steep price isn't too bad. So he's not coming out and saying, hey, there's a deal on the table in the coming weeks. A lot still has to happen. Giannis still has to request that trade. The Bucks still want to, do anything they can to keep their top player, as they would. Like, Giannis is that guy. Giannis is a player, 30 points per game, 12 rebounds, 6.5 assists, 1.2 blocks, is unstoppable attacking the rim. He's in the prime of his career. He's won MVPs. He's won championships. He's just a player that on the Toronto Raptors would be absolutely game-changing, and it's why Masai Ujiri has been interested in getting him for years. here now at this point. And he would come into this roster and be phenomenal. Now, as Doug Smith pointed out, it's the price that makes things, a little bit tougher for, stuff that's going on. Of course, Scotty Barnes is the first name everyone's looking at in terms of would he be in one of these deals, because Scotty is a guy that I'm still extremely bullish on becoming a star out there in the NBA. 19 points per game, 7.7 rebounds, 6 assists this past season, is a phenomenal facilitator, point forward, just 23 years old. So 6 years younger than Giannis. So a guy that's already been an all-star, elite defensively. The face of your team here right now, it would be very, very tough parting ways with Scottie Barnes, but we've seen Masai Ujiri just make these absolutely, tough calls, tough decisions in making one of these trades happen before in the Kawhi Leonard deal. Even to a lesser extent, trading away Jonas Valanciunas, who people forget was an absolute fan favorite, for Marc Gasol in a season where we're going all in, we're going all out in those in those situations. But I mean, you have Giannis. You have Giannis Antetokounmpo interested coming to your team. I don't picture Masai Ujiri holding back. Of course, you could probably amalgamate different pieces in terms of RJ Barrett, who I've been outspoken. I do not want him dealt in the offseason. But if it's for Giannis Antetokounmpo, my RJ Barrett jersey, I think he'd understand. RJ would understand one of these deals, one of these moves happening for a guy that's been an MVP, that's immediately puts the Toronto Raptors, especially in such a depleted, weak, absolutely wide open Eastern Conference, it immediately puts the Toronto Raptors into championship contention. That's just the reality of it. That's just the truth in terms of what's going on with this team, with this roster, with everything that's happening here. So, again, if we're trading Scottie Barnes, RJ Barrett, multiple firsts, multiple this, multiple that, then especially where things, an injury happens, your team is just absolutely screwed, and you're giving up a really nice young core that the Toronto Raptors have put together. That's not what I'd be that intrigued by. But if it is one of these guys, I mean, having a top 3 player in the NBA, it can't be understated how valuable that is for your team. As much as you love Scotty, as much as we love these guys here, Masai Ujiri's had the quotes in the past about if you have a top 3 player available, if you have one of these dudes at your disposal, you got to go for it. You got to go for it. You got to go all in. These opportunities don't come around ever. It's the one time it did, it brought the Toronto Raptors a championship. And frankly, Giannis would be more likely to stay, he's not trying to push his way to a specific destination as of right now. Now, John Horst, as we broke down the last video, is trying to get an absolute haul, so I'd imagine, especially to a conference rival, a team that we played multiple times in the playoffs, gotten the best of multiple times in the playoffs, they might have an extra premium on sending him to the Toronto Raptors, but frankly, if this could happen, because now it feels real. If Giannis is expressing interest, through the back channels, through everything that's going on, from multiple sources now at this point, it's feeling real. It's feeling real, folks, and it just got me it's got me excited. So let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. We will certainly be breaking down every little update on this, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing. Anyways, I'm signing now. Cheers.